How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This your boy TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what is up, people? How's everyone doing? We're here, we're back, we're locked, and we're loaded, ready to talk about the market, talk about my beautiful trades on the day today. How did we do? I had a pretty decent day. Green day for me. Could it have been better? I think, yeah, it could have always been better. I could have done a lot of things better and pulled more out of the market, but we're happy with what we did on the market today. Quite a bit of a volatility on the Chinese market to the downside. The hot China sector cooling off a little bit. Looks like the stimulus that they were expecting didn't actually come out as bullish as they were looking for it to come out as. So slower stimulus expected, not as aggressive as previously thought so by investors. So that caused a pretty decent pullback across the board in the Chinese ETFs and the Chinese stocks. But even then, those pullbacks held decently. You know, the most of those stocks actually rallied back intraday for the upside. However, you know, the overall move was pretty much to the red side. We also had some random stocks moving around today. In the North American basket, you had Hood, Palantir, Oracle going back up to the north side, going into the all-time highs on a positive catalyst. Boeing possibly moving to the downside. Their SPY talking about putting Boeing on their trash list, on their shit list. So that one's fun over there. Just quickly glancing over at my DocuSign and my watch list. DocuSign, DJT, so a bunch of movers across the board today for us to, you know, make some money, have some trades. SMCI pulled back drastically. That was a monster short off the open. So money making opportunities were there no matter what. And hopefully we set you guys up well enough last night to take advantage for it, because I for sure did, baby. I made some good cheddar cheese for today, and we're looking to continue this green streak on this week all the way into tomorrow and all the way into Friday. So let's look for money making opportunities tomorrow by heading over to the full screen. But before we do that, let's say hello to our wonderful viewers. Who's in the chat today? We got Dieter. What's up, Dieter? Good to see you. Dieter excited about the extra long Chinese watch list that we got going on. I guess he's just excited that the Chinese market's pulling back. China! We got Barky. Barky, hope you're well. Core, PLCE, and Nail are my tickers for your analysis today. Thank you so much. I guess we could take a look at those 3 names before we head over to my watch list or anything else that we were planning to do. So yeah, I'll start off with those 3 names for you, Barky. And if they're interesting, I'll add it to my watch list. We got Victor in the house. Your thumbnails crack me up. Good. Then it's doing its job. That's exactly what we wanted to do. Awesome. Let's go. The comrade. Da comrade, or is it the comrade? Da Russian. Da comrade. Da. Shadow Guy, thanks for subscribing. Streamlabs logo kind of getting muffled in the background over there. John's in the house. Good evening, Prad. I smashed the like and it looks like your regular group. Let's go, baby. That's right. We got the most of the hot movers, which is the Chinese sector, but we also have some fun names in there like Oracle, Boeing, DJT, and Roblox. So we're gonna be ready to talk about all of that fun stuff. What? The China miracle wasn't? Gee, I wonder who could have predicted that. Well, TH, let's be real. I've been calling short China for the last 6 days, alright? I've been screaming short China for the last 6 days, and it wasn't really working out, was it? But now we might see a little bit of change of characteristics, as we put it, is what we want to look for. Change of characteristics, change of what's been repeating and then not repeating anymore. So let's see if that's actually taking place today. Might be the Kickstarter for that downside event on the market. Let's head over to the full screen real quick. I want to show you guys the earnings board. The earnings board over here is still pretty dead. I think we talked about this really quick last night. Saratoga reporting today after hours. We got Helena Troy, HELE, reporting tomorrow pre-market, but not something that I really care about with such a hot watch list with big names such as, for example, the Chinese sector moving around. You also have some small caps. I think Lace is a small cap. Either way, you got small caps names moving around. Hood, Palantir, Roblox, DocuSign, DJT, Oracle. Oracle News is OpenAI is going to be moving away from Microsoft data centers to Oracle data centers. So that's bullish for Oracle, bearish for Microsoft. Microsoft actually sold off a little bit, I believe, off of that news. Boeing at risk of being put on the junk status by the S&P 500. That is never a good news, right? So we got market moving across the board from all kinds of catalysts, and then the biggest catalyst at the moment is obviously the Chinese sector, the China sector. That's gonna be the meat of our watch list for tomorrow. No earnings names yet for us to be interested for, so we're not gonna talk about it. I almost forgot, we do have an IPO to research about tonight, so let's actually go see what this IPO today. Oh, it's a SPAC. Who cares? It's this IPO that we care about tomorrow. So let me quickly add that to my watch list. That way I'm ready for it. KLC. We'll do research about this at the last. I'm just gonna quickly put it to my watch list over here. $23 to $27. 24 million shares being offered. Offer amount $745 million. And then tomorrow we got MOOV to research on, so make sure you tune in at 8 o'clock for that to find out what move lubricants. We've already had lubricants in the news recently thanks to P. Diddy, but now we got a lubricants holdings company reporting or IPOing. So we'll find out about what they do, how do they do, all about them tomorrow. Make sure you tune in 8 o'clock. Let's start off the stream with talking about perhaps, do I talk about my trades first, or do we start with the watch list first? Oh, I also wanted to quickly see what market it was on New York. So, dang, okay. So, let's start off with my trades on the day, I guess. I had pretty decent trades on the day. Obviously, could have been way better. Always could have been way better. Starting off with a nice short off of 180 on AVGO, was able to ride it for a nice little scalp to the downside into 179. Was just leaning off of a size over there on 180. Size never really broke. Market wasn't really ripping to the high side that much anyways, so AVGO allowed me to take advantage of that quick little scalp. Later on, AVGO actually broke 180 and gave you a pretty decent long going into close, so shout out for anyone who took that. I wasn't even looking for that at the moment, so I missed out on it. But nice little short scalp over here on ABGO for me on the day. TIGR, as I was looking for the Chinese sector sell-off, I kind of missed this area right into 10 bucks. Had I seen this $10 fail, break, pop above 10 and fail right back down getting stuffed, I would have loved to load up on the shares over here. But after the stock, you know, what goes to VWAP, bounces off of VWAP, and then manages to get below that previous low, and I'm able to now think, you know, maybe the sellers are in control. Let's look for pops to get short into. So the stock actually gives me a pop to get short into. I'm able to ride it right into that $9 pocket. Was looking for a bigger move than $9, but at that moment, you know, the FXI market, which is a Chinese ETF, looking like it's rebounding. Most Chinese stocks looks like they're rebounding. So I'm just gonna take out more size into this area while still holding a little bit of my size, which I'm then getting ready to dump it as the characteristics are changing. Now we're creating a higher low, higher high, and the stock is patterns are changing, the market patterns are changing, all that ugliness pouring back into the long side. So I'm not really interested to be short anymore, so I got out. If I'm not interested to be short, I guess I should have been interested to maybe go long, because that was a pretty good opportunity if you were watching for it. China market, even the dips are getting respected. That's the craziness about that market at the moment. Still very, very strong. Nvidia monster move yesterday, another monster move today. We got the breakout of 132 here, so took the breakout of 132, pretty much riding into 133, and you didn't really get too much out of it. I would have loved to move into 135, 137. I would have loved it, but I never really got that juice out of this position, so I just took my profits and walked away from it. Pretty much just hit and run today all day. Here was a stock that I didn't hit and run. I actually stuck with it for quite some time. It was Robinhood. Robinhood, I didn't really see any news for it. So let me quickly go back to our other screen, which is, goddamn, I have so many screens right here. What was Robinhood news? Up 9% after reports suggesting it is eyeing growth with new trading features, and announced an investor day event will take place on December 4th. New trading features, okay, whatever that means. I guess is good enough of a catalyst to take Robinhood to new heights and actually have it support above it. So 25 was a monster level on the daily chart. Looking at the 25, I thought this little break above 25 and move right back down was a false breakout of 25. So I was expecting a move back into VWAP and pretty much an all-day fader back into 24, maybe even a little bit lower than 24. So I got short into 25 first, and then I was ready to flip long on the breakout of my stop. So I got stopped out, I flipped long, I added to my position, I got bored of my position, so I took some size out. Then I noticed how well the stock is holding above 25, which is that major level on the daily chart. So if we're holding above 25 for so long, there's only going to be one resolution. Either we're going to break this area and really plummet to the downside, or we're going to really hold this area and all the sellers are going to be proven wrong, and they're going to have to flush out as we're moving into end of day. Because if you're a day trader, you don't want to be holding a position like this strong going into tomorrow. Who knows what the stock does tomorrow in a gap up or something? Who knows, right? So I was like, okay, let me get back my shares. And then I got bored of it again, so I took some size out just to protect myself from some downside, because if we do break this low, that's gonna be a lot of longs busting out. So I want to protect myself from some downside, so I take out some size over here for a quick little scalp. Still holding 50% of my size from all the time I'm long. Still holding 50% of my size, which I'm able to take some profits into the high of day. And then I have a stop somewhere at the break of these candles. Sadly, those candles do break, but we managed to consolidate around those candles and start going for another leg up over here on Robinhood. So I missed out that second, third leg on Robinhood, but I still managed to catch a good chunk of the move, I guess. Able to scalp this stock over here, add to the P&L. This is Napa, the buyout stock that I was talking about. Nothing really of too importance over there. SMCI, looking for the short, big sell-off the open. Didn't really catch the sell-off the open, but later on in the day, we had a range between 45 and 46, so I just got 46 short, added at 45. Noticed that 45 was holding pretty well for the rest of the day, so I just got out of my short into 45. Basically, whatever size short I had at 46 is the main winner. Whatever size I had at 45, I basically got out for flat. Didn't really make any money off of that size, but I made money off of that size, and I lost money off of this size. So overall, flat on the trade on SMCI for me on the day, but monster pullback after a big day yesterday and a gap up today. Gap up in pre-market, and then that gap up did not have any respect at all. Got slammed right back down. That fear of the 10K filing is still there. So anyone who just probably bought 30s, $40 would most likely want to take profits into $52, $53, and that's probably what you saw happening. Palantir took a breakout, but I got bored of it. It looked pretty weak on this move down, but when this move down got held, I guess it firms up the long even more to the point where I could have held it for a bigger move. I just got bored of it. I said, hey, I already have a decent sized position on Robinhood. I don't want another decent sized position with the same idea. It's a very similar trade idea, so I don't want another position like this. Robinhood is already around VWAP, whereas Palantir is quite a bit of a room from VWAP, so I'm not really interested to hold this all the way back to VWAP. So let me just punch out of this position for flat, walk away from this one, and not really take any damage. And that was basically my day today on the stonk market. Decent day. Could have done way better, as you guys have seen. I could have exited ABGO a lot better. I could have held Palantir for the bigger move. I could have held Robinhood way better for the full size for the bigger move. There's so many things that you shoulda, woulda, coulda done. The only thing that matters is what do you do next after what you just did. Do you repeat your mistakes? Do you get better at not making these mistakes? Do you get better at doing the right things also? You know, not just making mistakes is good, but it's not good enough. You also need to be better at doing the right things on the market. So let's get all those leaks in our buckets fixed, boys. Let's get it. We got more people in the chat. We got Angry Buddha in the house. What's up, Angry Buddha? Good to see you always. Johnson & Johnson oil. Yes, sir. The baby oil. Good to see you. More entertainment. Shadow Guy, you're welcome. Greetings from a fellow Canuck in Switzerland. Yay. Let's go. A Canadian. But I am not a Canuck, because I guess Canucks are like, well, Vancouver people. Or all Canadians Canucks. Is that how it works? I'm not sure. But yes, Canadian for sure. But not sure if you can say Canuck. I guess I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf guy. You know, I have to be, even though we haven't done good for a really long time. I have to support my hometown, right? My hometown, Toronto Maple Leafs, Toronto Raptors. So it's always gonna be that side for me. But all love, no matter what. Good to see that we got Canadians living in Switzerland. How's that? How's Switzerland? Would love to visit one day. What do you think on Pepsi earnings? I didn't really trade Pepsi today. Didn't care about it. There was a way hotter sector on the market, such as the Chinese sector for a day trade. Obviously, if you're thinking about investing, if you're thinking about swing trading, there's a lot more that you need to take a look into. How did they report? Are they growing? Are they diminishing? I personally don't care to day trade Pepsi tomorrow at all, so I'm not gonna bother to waste my time reading their earnings report, nor do I think I want to be investing in Pepsi or swing trading Pepsi at the moment. There's way better opportunities that'll give you 10 times your return in way less time, so I'm not really that interested to read Pepsi's earnings at the moment. But just looking off the chart, very boring. I mean, yeah, it popped up 1.9%. Boohoo. I'm not happy about it at all. I was high on Pepsi. I said that Pepsi is only gonna matter if it actually makes a monster move. up here or down here. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. What did it do? Zilch. Exactly what I expected. And rewind the tapes, TH, you hate watcher. Rewind the tapes. I said Pepsi is a boomer name. I don't really care to trade it. I don't really care to trade it unless it does something really crazy and goes to the extremes. Rewind the tape, you hate watcher. Go back, watch it, and then come back. All right. Let's go to Barkett's 3 names that he mentioned real quick, and then we can head over to our watch list on the day. COUR. COUR is Coursera. Wow. Wow, I haven't heard this name in a long time. Coursera. I've done some courses on Coursera before for fun. They're not bad, but then they charge you money to get a certification. I guess that kind of makes sense, and it's like a lot cheaper than having to pay for a real certification at a university or whatever. Yeah. But I just found it kind of, you know, that I have to pay for the certification after I just did this awesome course or whatever. Anyways, let's talk about the stock. Stock makes no money. Forward PE 27, PE absolutely blank. Shares float 130 mil. Is that share flow? Yeah, share flow 130 mil. You got 6% short flow. Not really bringing in any volume at all. There's no volume on this position. So as a day trade, this is almost nothing for me at the moment. You know, a $7 stock doing 1 million shares, that doesn't matter to me at all. And honestly, since I haven't heard the name Coursera in such a long time, for this to even be thinking as an investment, I don't know about that. I mean, the company makes no profits. Well, I guess their EPS is green. Just recently starting to make some money, I guess. I don't know. The barrier to entry for this company is also very little. There is competition to companies like this now. Brilliant.org, which is heavily marketed on YouTube. So I'm not really sure if I like COUR at all. Is PLCE Children's Place? Yes, Children's Place. This was a big squeezing name not too long ago. High short float, if I remember correctly. 50% short flow, if I remember accurately. Could have dropped down. Now 72% short flow. This is insane. Previously, a name that was 100%. Sorry, let me correct this. And actually, now that Luke Halter's in the chat saying, let's go. Maybe this is the perfect time to go to full cam real quick and talk about a question that Luke Halter asked a very long time. What happened with GME? Or was it Victor who asked this question? I can't remember now. Maybe it was Victor who said he would love to see my answer about GME on my stream. So GME, basically what happened was it was over shorted. How is a stock even allowed to have more than 100% of its float being shorted? I don't know. The SEC is stupid. What do you want me to say on that? But somehow the numbers got fudged up, and you got a stock with more than its float, 100% of its rotation being shorted using options, using you know, whatever derivative method they can. They were betting their house, they were betting their grandma's house that this company is gonna go bankrupt. They were doing pretty decent at it, but eventually people caught on to the trick, and they started piling into the long, because if you start capturing the flow and 100% or more than 100% of the flow is short, then you are eventually causing a short squeeze, because the sellers will have nothing to buy into. The sellers need to buy their shares back to cover for their position, so they need to buy their shares back, and if no one's selling because everyone's buying and holding on to their position, they have no one to counter trade against. So everyone's just cornering the flow into a little pocket and trying to squeeze this position. They managed to do it. They busted out a lot of hedge funds who were very deep short onto GME, and a lot of them got bankrolled back again anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But that was basically the idea. The gamma squeezing, people trying to screw over hedge funds, people thinking that they can make a lot of money, a lot of people, cult following happening. So that's what caused GME to go all crazy like. Now you got another name over here, PLCE, which recently caught wind of the same similar catalyst. They reported earnings. People started diving into their float. They noticed that the stock has a 50% short float, and as we kept going higher, the short float kept going higher along with it. So Monster moved to the upside and then eventually started cooling off. I haven't looked at this name in a couple days now. I think we are going to cool off a little bit once this name picks back up. Obviously there's going to be a lot of fun. No reason to trade it at the moment. For example, the shares is 4 million shares outstanding. Is that short float? Shares outstanding is 4 million, not even 12 million. So 5 million flow, and 72% of that flow is short. 5 million flow, outstanding flow 12 million, but out of the 5 million you got 72% short. Just imagine what could happen if we keep squeezing higher and higher on a name like this. Right now, sadly, it is in a pullback trajectory. We just took out the most recent lows, looking like we're gonna go back to the day one anchored VWAP, which is around $11. We'll be interested to see if we start bouncing off of 11. Do we hold 11.50? Do we hold $11? And do we bounce from this area? And now we have somewhat of an anchored VWAP sandwich forming and a potential wedge forming. And then once that wedge breaks out to the upside, or a wedge breaks out to the downside, that will be the game over for the stock. Either game over to the downside for the longs, or game over to the upside for the shorts, and more fun being coming in for the longs. So we'll see what happens on PLC. At the moment, no volume, so not really much to talk about on this one. And I'm guessing the same story with your last stock over here. Small mover, NAIL, Home Builders and Supplies Bold 3 times ETF, up 2.4%. Not bad. A little bit of volume, not really catching up on the volume on the 20-day moving average, and the 30-day moving average is only 400,000. So not even something for me to care about as a day trade. Market, you just wasted my time. Thank you. I'm never gonna get these 10 minutes back because these stocks are not interesting at all. Damn it, Market. Usually you give good names to talk about, but today you failed me, son. You failed me. NAIL, Home Builders. I mean, I don't think this is a day trade name at all. It's got no liquidity, no volume. Yeah, it made a little bit of a move up today, potentially. Home building numbers, export import numbers might have helped it. Maybe Home Depot moved up. Who knows, right? It's a random catalyst. Nothing for me to really care about. Nothing for me to invest in either. So I'm just gonna move on from this one and move to better names on the watch list. Names that are actually moving. Names that are actually hot at the moment, bringing in 6 times, 7 times R wall, which is what everyone should be having their eyes on if you're a day trader. Don't waste your time with stocks that are not doing goddamn volume, okay? You're a day trader, you need volume and you need volatility. You need the 2 V's, volume and volatility. You don't have that, you don't have a trade, period. And right now, it is very present in names like FXI, which is the Chinese ETF. You can also take a look at YINN, which is Yin, Y-A-N-G, Yin Yang, but instead of Ying, it's Y-I-N-N, Yin Yang, Yin Yang, which are the 3 times leverage ETF, one to the upside, one to the downside. If you're not interested to trade FXI, Barkett, I was joking, Barkett, don't worry. Hopefully you didn't take me too seriously to your heart. But let's take a look at FXI, BABA, Pinduoduo. Did I just put PD in my chat? PDD, there we go. That means I messed up the watch list. I messed up the ATR over here. $7.38, not 60 cents, because that's wrong. 60 cents for PD, which I believe is PagerDuty. It is PagerDuty. What are you doing these days? Garbage, nothing, no interest at all. So let's go back to the names that we care about. BABA, for example. BABA pulling back to one of the levels we had marked out apparently into 109.50, and we actually closed right above 109.50, bounce off of 108. Today's candle pretty tight for how big of a gap down it was, and I think that's the same story for the most part for most of these names. I mean, FXI actually rallied pretty hard off of $32. Shout out to FXI. Why do they keep buying it? Pinduoduo, what did you do today? I mean, look at that. That's a pretty good bounce. FUTU. I think the only major weak one was TIGR. Yeah, TIGR. Baidu, I think, bounced fairly well. Not as well, I guess. But yeah, the strength is still here in these names. Did the Chinese ETFs move? Sorry, not ETFs. EVs move any bearishly? They did get a little bit of a bounce in them, but they are getting ready to maybe pull back and have some fun. Now the question is basically, what do these stocks do off of after these gap down? Ooh, that's a good level on NIO, right into $6.40, multiple days low and also today's high. So you could use that as your under over almost on NIO. Does NIO get bought up above 640? Does it have selling above 640 and cause it to go back to the downside? So a lot of questions around 640 can be asked, and the way the market answers it will give you a potential trade setup, and I could see us pulling all the way back into $5. So that will be interesting to see what happens on NIO here. Basically, you're watching how today's high, today's low, today's VWAP all come into play, because most of these stocks gap down, right? They gap down pretty hard. Some levels might be coinciding, like that one right there, the 111, 110.70, 111. Let me just throw a line right there. Notice that that's 110.63. That was Thursday's low, and today's high is exactly right around that price. So some levels will coincide, and you could start using those levels as kind of your under over. So I'm going to be looking at this 111 area on BABA. Let me just quickly put that in my notes. See if we actually push into 111 and see if we can find some buying above 111. If we can't, then I'm going to be ready to look for shorts only on BABA. Pinduoduo, you have that area right there, which is around 146. So looking for that under over on Pinduoduo around 146. Now, if we're already finding selling under 146 tomorrow off the open, and we are, trading at the lower end of the ranges, that changes the theory a little bit. We might have to look for longs off of bounces if we're finding buying. Let's say, for example, we're into 132 on Pinduoduo when the Chinese market opens. Now it's going to be hard to look short from 132 into 122. I'm going to be a little hesitant looking short below 132 unless we really see a hold below 132 the way Robinhood held above 25. That's the only way I'll be interested to look short on Pinduoduo if we already make such a big drastic move. The same idea carries over to BABA, Baidu, JD, and all of these names. So you're looking for how they react in pre-market. Are they already overextended to one direction off the open, or maybe after they open and they go for the first 15-30 minutes, are they overextended into a direction, and then are those areas being held? Are they finding weakness? All of these factors come into play, so make sure you're reading your charts, reading your levels, top-notch level. Okay, easy BD to Prad, none of us are worthy. Easy BD Prad, what? Holy cow, Batman. DJT soared 18%. That's right. That's right. DJT $22, $21. I forget how high it went. DJT going these days, man. DJT going. TIGR, I think it's pretty simple for the under over. You have the $9 for the support on TIGR. I kind of want to put in 132 for Pinduoduo just in case we flush down there. TIGR, it's basically $9. If you go to the hourly chart, let's do that right now. Go to the hourly chart and you see right there into $9, I guess 860. Where did I get $9 from? Can't remember now. I guess I drew or what's it called? Rounded up 860 to 9. I can't remember. Or was that 882? That's 860. Okay. All right, never mind. So TIGR, you have that $10 or 11. Okay, $11 area. That's a pre-market high from today. If you pull it down a little bit, we had a clear fail of the $10 area off the intraday move over here on TIGR, and then we actually managed to get back above 10. So I wouldn't even say that's a fail of 10. That was pretty strong. Yeah, this one's going to be more of a feel trade. I'll be honest with you. This one's going to be off the feel when it's moving around tomorrow. Very tape reading kind of position over here for me. Not really as clean as your Babas and your Pinduo Duos or your NIOs and XPEVs. This one moves almost like a small cap in a way, I want to say. So you want to be a little careful. But this one is a pretty high focus. I will say it's a pretty high focus. Right now, I'm not able to make a trading plan, but I promise you it's going to be a pretty high focus. It was one of my most highest profitable name today on the stock, but I wasn't able to make a trading plan on the stock last night either. So it's just one of those names where you can't really make a trading plan. I guess you could try, right? But for me, it's on the fly type of name. I'm watching the time of sales. I'm watching the level 2. I'm looking for size on the order book. I'm looking for the velocity of the tape, how fast the buyers are buying into a certain direction. Are they able to keep the stock above a certain price? Are they sticking above a price? Are we being weak around a certain price? I'm just analyzing the tape action over here, and then I'm making a decision on the fly usually. So these kind of names are I want to say a little hard for me to make a plan for you guys. So I'll just kind of leave this one alone for you. Let's go to some of the non-Chinese names now. We got Robinhood. Robinhood, as we previously mentioned, made a monster move above $25 and held strong above 25. That was insane. So held strong above 25 to the point where today's VWAP should actually be 25. Exactly. 25.10. I'm just gonna round it down to $25. So very, very strong bullish buying above this previous area of $25. So you're basically now playing the 25 under over. If any pullback comes into play on Robinhood, it should not get below 25. At worst, maybe you can give it a 15-cent leeway room below 25 up to 24.85, maybe 24.79, a 20-cent leeway room. But anything lower than that, I am not interested, because the stock can go right back to 24, right? So not expecting a big candle tomorrow on Robinhood. Today's catalyst is also very lackluster, if you ask me, but with the fact that the buyers came in, defended, and took the stock higher is good enough for me to look long again tomorrow until proven wrong, right? The theory that the person who is in court is innocent till proven guilty, that's the same idea. So you are strong until proven me wrong. So prove me wrong by getting below 25 and show me weakness below 25 here on Robinhood, and at that point I'll be like, okay, let's talk about the short. But if you don't show me weakness below 25, then there's only one direction we're thinking. It's to the moon, baby. Send Robinhood to the moon. Palantir, monster breakout to the upside, finally getting above 40 and looking strong. I mean, I don't know, I have no words for Palantir. This company is on a rocket ship. I look like an absolute chump closing my position for a $2 per share profit after holding this position against me 7 whole dollars. Wah, wah, wah. I held this position against me in my own account, 7 full dollars against me. And then once I saw $2 in the money, I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm tired of it. I'm taking my money. I'm out. But here we are, way deep in the money now. Well, we're not, but the stock is. Way deep in the money. So shout out to Palantir. A little salty about it. But all we're seeing at the moment is a crazy upside move. Not too long ago, we got a news catalyst that the insiders of Palantir have done selling. That costed another breakout above the S&P 500 ad, and now more juice to the north side with Nvidia, SMCI moving higher. So shout out to Palantir is all I can say. There was some size at 40 today. You saw me take the breakout of 40. I just got bored of it. It took too long for me to get the move that I wanted. Scalper at heart, trying to change that, so I didn't get the move that I wanted, so I just got out of that position. Eventually did rally quite a bit. So Palantir obviously on watch tomorrow. Right now there's a lot of empty space between where we are and where the all-time high is. There's a lot of empty space, not a lot of volume transacted in this area, so these levels are just murky. Nobody knows what's gonna happen. Your guess is as good as mine. At the moment, I'm going to expect 40 to be the hold. If any pullback into the previous 2 days highs get respected, that's bullish enough for me, but it's still not bearish until we really get below 39 or really get below 38 because of the amount of time we spent in this area, and then we managed to break out of this area. You would have to really get below 38, 39 for me to think, okay, this is a false breakout. The buyers are trapped. Now Palantir is going to really start pulling back as a big picture play. So I'm not thinking that yet. So if I'm not thinking that, I'm only looking long on this position. So any dips on Palantir, for the most part, I would love to see the previous 2 days highs get respected, which is what, 40, 30, $40, just rounded down, I guess. So I would love to see 40 get respected on any hold. Then we can look for a move back into today's high, or even if the stock is actually holding above, let's say 41.50, $42 tomorrow, does that mean the stock has room to $45 over the end of the week? So anything is really possible with a crazy name like this, with the market looking pretty bullish today. QQQ up 1.5%, S&P 500 right back into all-time highs. So with the market looking as bullish as it is, I mean, let's go Palantir. That's all I can say. Let's go Palantir. So watching Palantir, how it reacts into today's high, 41.50, and then that $40 area to the downside, which actually surprisingly is one full ATR for the stock. $40 to 41.50 is $1.50. That's the ATR of Palantir. Roblox had a pretty negative catalyst today coming out on the position, but the dip just got completely bought. Look at that. The stock bounced perfectly off the August lows and anchored VWAP that we have mapped out. That is, or sorry, was this the August lows anchored VWAP? No, that is the earnings anchored. Where do you come from? Okay, that is the earnings anchored VWAP. Wow. So still bullish. The people buying this position from earnings have been showing support on this position ever since, and that is a beautiful setup right there for the long-term traders, for the swing term traders. So if you see more buying coming in after we just kind of pull back, like the exact same pullback we saw here, if we see some buying coming in off of these areas again, Roblox might not be a bad idea to look for a long, for a swing trade, for an investment trade, because your risk is pretty tight. If we get below $37.50, $37, you take your loss and you move on. But if you get a chance to get long into $38, $37.50 area, well, not $37.50, if you get a chance to get long into 38, then you gotta move easily back into 40, maybe back into 44, 47, 53 if the market keeps moving the way the market is. So Roblox, monster bounce off of the anchored VWAP off the earnings, but the main reason why Roblox flushed today, the negative catalyst that Roblox had, is Hindenburg short report. Hindenburg released a short report, but now looking at the chart, I can understand why they released a short report. I can now understand why they released a short report. They needed some exit liquidity. They noticed the buying strength. They needed some exit liquidity. That report brought in some liquidity, and they just, bought their shares back. If the short report was solid, this should have made a way bigger move. They might have just closed their position or bought some of their shares back, or the buyer from this area was able to completely negate that negative theory that was in their Hindenburg report. They were talking about inflation of key metrics, and Roblox is just a playground for pedophiles because of the amount of kids that play in this game. Pedophiles just go into the, maybe I shouldn't say that word out loud because YouTube will start demonetizing me, but P-Bears out there lurking on Roblox gameplay and just, preying on children. So Roblox making a monster bounce off of that. Maybe something to keep an eye on, but I don't really see a setup at the moment for the day trade. Monster bounce today, though. Monster bounce today. Just bounced right back and closed the gap almost. DocuSign. So DocuSign getting added to the S&P 600 or the 400, I forget which one of the two indexes, and it made a bounce to the upside. Not too long ago, DocuSign was being talked about as a potential buyout candidate, so that just may be adding more fuel to the upside propulsion over here on this position. So we'll see if we can actually manage to break out of the 69.50 area. If the dips get supported and find some buying on any pullbacks, that is a solid area to find some buying. That's a good daily chart breakout also. So we'll see how DocuSign reacts. We have clean levels at the moment. We have the 65 area and we have the 69.50. Yeah, 69.50 and the 65. So just gonna put those two levels on my watch list. DJT made a monster move today, up another 18% after a monster move yesterday also, breaking that $21 price point and moving into 22 today. Wow, so DJT really catching some traction, volume pouring back into DJT also. Looks like the Trump catalyst. I'm not going to be able to buy the stock back at 13 bucks. I missed my train. So shout out to you guys who are enjoying the ride if you actually took my call out. I was calling out to look long into $13 with the stop under 10 for this move into 20, into 40, into 50 as Trump starts getting higher and higher in the election phases as the higher probability candidate to win the election. This stock is just going to keep on going higher and higher and higher. So we'll see how DJT sets up into that setup over there. This was a monster swing trade. I mean, what was that? 61%? 50% in just a couple days? Come on, Brad. Take your own call outs. Fuck. So watching this one, obviously, as it's going back into previous support areas, potentially finds resistance there or just keeps on blasting off. Oracle going into the 175 area. It's actually 174.50, but I'm just gonna round it up into 175. Either Oracle stays strong above 175 or it gets below 170 or stays below 175, at which point I just short pops into 175. So Oracle is just the under over for me, clean and simple. Not much setup over there. Besides that, you can look for the dip buys into today's low, which is also a previous solid resistance area of 170. So it's either 170 or 175 that I'm looking to make a decision on Oracle. Without that, I'm not looking to make a trade at all. Very low volume stock usually, boomer name also, not expecting explosive moves. The catalyst on Oracle was OpenAI looking to move away from Microsoft servers to Oracle servers. So Oracle getting another customer, another one. So shout out to Oracle. Boeing going on the junk list for S&P 500. Not much move off of that catalyst, I guess. Maybe a little bit of a down move, but no big volume spike either. But something to keep an eye on in the background. If it catches volume, catches traction, potential opportunities opening up over there on Oracle. Nvidia breaking a solid resistance level of that 132. So obviously keeping an eye on Nvidia as we're charging back into all-time high territory. Nvidia getting dangerous again. Now officially the second largest company in the world. Is it the first largest? No, only 0.2 trillion away from being the largest company in the world, taking over Microsoft again. Microsoft sitting at 3.08 trillion market cap, Nvidia sitting at 3.26 trillion market cap, Meta sitting at 1.5 trillion, Apple sitting at 3.43. So Nvidia not that far out from being number one in the world as the publicly traded company by market cap. One more time, they were there briefly for a small period, and then Apple said, not on my watch, and Apple came back and took over that title. But let's see if Nvidia can fight for that spot once again. As for a day trade, very simple. You got previous highs marked out already. This move is a little overextended if you ask me, but hey, we've seen the market go crazy before. AVGO had a monster breakout above 180. This one's looking to do similar moves like Nvidia. All-time high not that far out off of AVGO, so this one on watch without a doubt. Intel may be catching some traction. I actually told my dad to get long into 22 last night. Hopefully he did, because he's already 4.20% richer. That's hilarious. 420. Wow, wow, wee, wow. 420% richer on Intel if he did. So 22 holding beautifully. 22 giving you opportunities again and again. That's the hold that you want to see on a name if you want to swing trade it, if you want to invest it. Now, if we break out above 24, that opens up a lot more room. Well, I wouldn't say 24, it's 24.50. So if we get above 24.50, 24.60 on Intel, that is some fun. And if we get below 22, that is also a little bit of fun, not a lot of fun in my opinion. The market needs to be really weak. The semiconductor sector needs to get blown out for us to be thinking short 22. But if that's happening, I might as well go trade Nvidia, AVGO, SMCI instead of Intel. If I want to be short semiconductor because the market's getting blown out, the semiconductor sector is getting destroyed, then I'm just going to go trade Nvidia and SMCI, not really care about looking for a short Intel past 22, but the opportunity is there for those of you who are interested. You also have TSM, which is making a little bit of an insane rally at the moment. ESM making an insane rally. Micron holding off, not really ripping at the moment. Sandwich between two VWAPs. So let's see if it can break out. Looks like it's sandwiched between the most recent low and also the earnings anchored VWAP. So just sandwiched between the two levels. SMCI monster reversal today. Failed breakout of this $48 area, so you still have the resistance on SMCI. I'll say now the 48 resistance has kind of been moved up from 48 to 50, so you have a $2 range the stock can potentially find a barrier into, and you're watching to see how that gets respected. So 48 to $50 on SMCI. Apple, I'm guessing, was pretty strong today, but not that interested. I want to look for the shorts only. Microsoft bounced back up. Most of the semiconductors, most of the big tech bounced back up. Tesla has, I believe it's Robo-Taxi event tomorrow, or is that October 10th? Correct me what date it's on. Either way, I think it's actually on the 10th at night. So we might be able to watch it on stream as long as I don't get copyright infringed on that. Or maybe I could watch it with monetization off, and then I might not get copyright infringed. So we'll try to do that. So YouTube hopefully doesn't screw me over. So we'll see. If it also depends on what time the event is. But the trade will be setting up for us on the 11th. The Robo-Taxi event will be very interesting. It better be full self-driving, because anything less than that is a fail. Is an absolute fail. So we'll see if Tesla will rip from that catalyst, or will start dying over here. Amazon, Google, all of these stocks are just basically copying whatever the market does at the moment. These are high beta names. If I'm looking to trade any of the large cap names, it's mainly going to be Meta and Apple. But I just said Apple, not that interesting, because look how boring Apple looks at the moment. It just looks very, very boring. So if I'm looking to trade, it's most likely just going to be Tesla and Meta for the large cap, the Magnificent Seven, unless there's a real catalyst for me to look for a name trade on there. USO, INDO, all of them pulling back because, what was it? I think Iran said if they get attacked on their oil refineries, they're going to attack other oil refineries in the region. So that caused a little bit of shakeup in the oil industry, but also we still don't know if they're actually going to attack. When are they going to attack? People might be getting bored and tired of that potential event coming into play for a trading opportunity. So you're just seeing a little bit of a cooling off on these names at the moment, but still keep these on the watch. If the catalyst starts taking off, these are the names you want to keep on your watch list, because those will be an event, right? That's an absolute news event trade, and these are the names that you can't afford to not be having on your watch list just in case something happens. So these are those names over here. INDO, XOM pulling back, US Oil, USO pulling back. So all of these names, keep them on watch. When is Carvana going up? I mean, I'm not a fortune teller, brother. I'm not. Or where is Wow, what the fuck? What? You're joking. Alright. Guess who just made it to my shit list? Welcome, Carvana. $7.36 ATR. Okay. 4 million shares, 30-day average volume, 3 million shares. Obviously dying down on volume big time. Carvana has had a big reversal story. They were previously obviously a name that got hyped up during COVID. They started tractioning big time because people could buy cars from their vending machine without actually going into an actual whatever. So these names, all IPO names, caught an insane amount of traction in 2020. These were not profitable names. These are just growth names. So all of them got destroyed right after. But and then eventually Carvana was actually looking to get bankrupt. If I remember correctly, Carvana was talking about bankruptcy. My goodness, you could have had the stock at $4. What in the world? Okay, I mean, I'm at loss for words, honestly. This is a lot of buildup in this area. So even if Carvana does pull back, you have this range over here, this little box. I'll just draw out the purple box instead. You have this purple box that can very easily act as support on any major pullback. So even if we do pull back, I'm expecting a bounce off of 165 as an intraday setup. But right now, with the way the stock is moving, I mean, the next easy target, psychological level, 200. If we go into 200, something crazy could happen. Carvana, if I remember correctly, was a decently shorted stock, and a lot of that short float is no longer short. I mean, 10%, 12% is not bad, but it's not like 70% that we just saw on PLCE. So Carvana going absolutely bonkers. This is monstrous. Obviously would love to see how Carvana reacts tomorrow. If it's anywhere into 195 into $200, your guess is as good as mine as to where this is going. We're going back into 2021 levels now, so these are levels that we haven't played with in a long time. Your guess is honestly as good as mine as to where the stock is going, my friend. But thank you for putting it on my radar, because this is bonkers. This is bonkers. Look at that. That anchored VWAP from the most recent swing low is coming in right at that 165. So that just creates my theory, or solidifies my theory even longer. Why am I doing this? I'm not Italian. That just solidifies my theory even more, that even if we do get a pullback, I'm expecting the stock to bounce right off of this 165 area. So you are not proven wrong on the long until the stock finds selling below 165. You are not proven wrong on the long until then. That's my opinion on that. These buyers need to be proven wrong, and their stops need to trigger for us to start looking for a downside. This is an insane move at the moment. I am very excited about these stocks going crazy like this. Where's Unity? Unity not doing anything. Where's Snowflake? Snowflake not doing anything. Give me some more crazy names. ANF doing something? Come on, ANF. You got Carvana going into 200. You can't do anything fun for us? I'm trying to remember what other crazy names we used to trade. MSTR. Okay, yeah, we can do MSTR. Oh, look at that, right into 198. Let me put MSTR on the watch list here really quick. We'll add it right below Oracle. Roracle. MSTR 200, also a level that, you know, very psychological, simple. $200 area was the all-time high previously. Bitcoin at the moment not really doing crazy things, but MSTR is, and that's the thing about MSTR. Sometimes it will follow Bitcoin pretty tightly, but then the rest of the times it says, I want to do what I want to do, and I'm doing it. So right now MSTR is and it's riding the beat of its own drum. You gotta let it ride the beat of its own drum. So watching how it reacts into 200, I am more so inclined to short the level 200 if we do go there and find some weakness. But hey, if Bitcoin's ripping and MSTR is going into 200 and looking like it wants to break out of 200, that is a potential long for us to get into also. So watching how this stock sets up going into the next few days. Another stock added to my watch list. I love it. I love it. Make my watch list bigger, baby. Yes, sir. We got Trader in a yard. Wagwan, my you. How you doing? Yo, I saw you make jewelry. Hook your brother up, brother. Come on. Me, I like jewelry. But me have none right now. Me I like jewelry though. I got a nice little piece right here. Bust down piece that you can't even see. Bust down piece right there. Yo, hook me up, man. I want some jewelry. Some good Jamaican made jewelry. Come on. Potentially to get added to the S&P 500 index for the MSTR stock. Now that's a catalyst right there. Let's go. That's a catalyst. Soon you get a custom piece. Okay. Now we talking. Now we're talking. That's what when I come to Jamaica, I'll pick it up from you. I'll pick it up from you. But you know, we can smoke some real good stuff over there too. So we'll come. We'll visit Jamaica for sure. No doubt about that. Thanks, Prad. You rock. Thank you, Bigly Down Under. Just make sure you hit that like and subscribe because I do this all for the like and subscribes. Make sure you hit the like, please. Hit that subscribe. Make sure you check. Nah, screw it. Screw it. Yeah, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I would appreciate that. Trying to grow this channel here. And so far, I think we're growing at 1 subscriber at a time. Let me quickly hide my channel, hide my screen, so I could try to see if I can pull up these analytics without showing you a part of the page that I'm not supposed to show you, because I think YouTube will ban you. Does this show anything of the page that I'm not supposed to show? I guess we could go here. Analytics. Audience. Okay. Boom. So in the last 28 days, we got 21 new subscribers. Let's go. 648 new unique viewers. We'll take that. 7% more than the last 28 days. So we are growing slightly. Not bad. Videos growing your audience. Very low. I love it. I love to see that. What is this? Okay. Now this is the sad thing because most of my viewers are online between 12 to 6 p.m. which is when I can't go live at all. So that sucks. 43% of you are from the United States America. Where's the rest of you? I'm guessing some from Canada. Some gotta be from Canada. What's the male female? What? This usually shows you a demographic, but it doesn't. Looks like subscribers who have turned on all notifications. Only 14 people. Come on, guys. Sorry, only 14%. Who turned on all notifications for your channel and enabled YouTube notifications. 9.6%. That's actually pretty high. I'll be honest with you. That number is a lot lower usually on bigger channels. That's actually surprising. So that number is actually pretty high. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you guys there. But hey, we'll take it. 213 returning viewers. I appreciate you guys. But we got new viewers coming and new subscribers. Shout out to all the new subscribers. For those of you who don't know yet, my name is TraderPrad, and we do this Monday to Thursday, 8 o'clock, Sunday, 6 p.m. But Sunday, 6 p.m. streams, I want to move them to only if I have a guest because getting tired of these extra long streaming schedules that I have been going. So Sunday, if we have a guest like we do this Sunday, 6 p.m., You're gonna know on Twitter when we do and when we don't, so make sure you tune in for that. If you don't have my Twitter, check out my Linktree page. It has all of my pages right here: YouTube, x.com, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon. Check out my pages right there. You also get my affiliate sponsors, tools that I actually use to day trade every single day: Trade Ideas, TraderSync, Benzinga Pro. You use code PRAD15 to get 15% off, and then a bunch of other extra links down here. If you feel like checking out, go ahead and do that. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is all she wrote for tonight. Hopefully you guys feel somewhat ready for tomorrow. Mainly it's going to be the Chinese names again. We're going to have a lot of Chinese names on our watch list, but along with the Chinese names, you guys have helped me find Carvana. You guys have helped me find MicroStrategy. We have other names like Roblox, DocuSign, Palantir, DJT, Robinhood, all moving around. So along with the Chinese names, we also have a decent amount of North American names that are moving around. So let's look for these opportunities, baby. Sadly, the VIX did pull back. Let me go quickly take a look at the VIX at the moment. The VIX is still above 19. It's at 2143. We got a 5% pullback on the VIX. The market did go up. So oh wait, we can't really call it right now. Oh, pause. The stream's not ending because we still have to go do a little bit of research about tonight's or tomorrow's IPO. Hold up. We forgot about the IPO. So let's go to the IPO real quick and find out what these guys do. KinderCare Learning Companies will go public soon. We know that already. 24 million shares being offered. Learning Company is the largest private provider of high quality early childhood education in the United States by center capacity. We are a mission-driven organization rooted in the commitment to providing all children with the very best start in life. We serve children ranging from 6 weeks to 12 years of age across our market-leading footprint of over 1,500 early childhood education centers with capacity of over 200,000 children and approximately 900 before and after school sites located in 40 states and District of Columbia as of June 29, 2024. We have built a reputation of as a leader in early childhood education and care across our 3 consumer-facing brands designed to address key parent demographics: KCLC, Krem School, and Champions. I don't know what any of that is, but hey, you got kids, I think you know what that means. Okay, decent amount. I founded in 1969, older than me. IPOing obviously tomorrow. 42,000 employees. Let's see if the company actually makes any money. So market cap 2.8 billion. They're offering 24 million shares to the market out of 114 million that they have. Their PE is 49.6. That means they do make money and they are expensive. 49 is a little high, but okay, we got 49 PE coming in. Let's go take a look at some other numbers. Not available. These usually are available, so that's kind of weird. In the last 12 months, they had a revenue of 2.59 billion and earned 57.65 million in profits. What is the money going? Earned 2 billion, made 2 billion, but only kept 57 million. Where is the money going? Hello? Where is the money going? Okay, financials. Looks like 19% growth from 2021 to 2022. From 2022 to 2023, only a 15.9% growth. So a little bit of growth, not as much from the year before, but still growing. And it's a learning company, right? Expecting them to grow by like Nvidia numbers 100% is kind of crazy. So obviously a little bit of interest. Anytime a company's making money, they are usually they tend to go higher off the IPO. I'm expecting the stock to open a lot higher than $27, maybe around $30 or so, kind of like what SARO did. If you guys remember, SARO opened up at $30 and ran up to $33 or so. I'm expecting very similar type of action on KLC also, so keep that one on watch without a doubt. Should open out around what time is this? Think it should open up around 12:30, somewhere between 12:30 or 1. Yeah, 12:45 is when this one opened. I'm expecting somewhere around the same thing, 12 to 1 o'clock ish it should open, and we'll see if we can have some fun. Usually I love trading IPOs. I'm pretty good at trading IPOs, so obviously gonna have that one on watch. Really quickly, let's show you the economic calendar because I forgot to do that too. We do have a 10-year bond auction tomorrow. A bunch of Fed members talking throughout the day. Crude oil inventory is obviously important for the U.S. oil trade, XOM, INDO, or even USO. So crude oil inventories will come into play for that one. You got nothing really as a big market mover report numbers coming out besides the FOMC members talking intraday. So nothing really on that side for us to be too worried about, but just keep an eye out for US oil inventories that could potentially move the market. And then at 1 o'clock, we have FOMC minutes tomorrow. Almost forgot about that. So you have the 10-year auction at 1 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, you have the FOMC minutes. That will for sure spark the move a little bit on the market. It will either have a potential continuation after that spark, or it will get nullified right away, which is something that we've seen before. So either that move gets dumbed down and we see nothing out of it, or the move gets started and has a continuation after that. So FOMC minutes is a pretty big event. This is the event that the FOMC members they have a meeting and they provide a transcript. They don't have a interest rate decision, but this is just a transcript provided to the news markets, and all you see is a change from the current meeting, from the previous meeting, as to how they're going to think about policies and how they want to think about interest rates and so on. So it'll be pretty important. We've also obviously had a pretty big interest rate decision recently, so the FOMC minutes will be important as to see if their tonality is hawkish towards another interest rate or dovish towards another interest rate, and that will obviously move the market. So the 1 o'clock, you got 10-year bond auction, and 2 o'clock you have FOMC minutes. 10:30 you have crude oil inventories, and then intraday you have a couple Fed members on the mic. So just be careful for those events on the market. So that's the IPO and that's the econ calendar. And now we're done. Now we can call it a night. So back to playing the outro and wishing you guys the best tomorrow. Lots of stuff moving, lots of money making opportunities. Let's make these bags. See you guys tomorrow 8 o'clock. One more IPO to talk about tomorrow. No earnings tomorrow if I remember correctly. Let me go take a quick glance if there is any earnings tomorrow that we want to care about. Nope, no earnings that we care about tomorrow. But on Thursday pre-market we do have Tilray, Delta Airlines, and Domino's Pizza. So we'll be talking about that and the IPO tomorrow 8 o'clock. Make sure you tune in. Have yourself a great night. Enjoy. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Check the links out down below. And TraderPrad out. Adios. Peace. Magnificent 7 also had a pretty good day on themselves today, so pretty good moves across the board. Or tech basket get destroyed. Get ready for trade off of. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here. Back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow, as you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.